Greetings, fellow mayors. This is Captain Obvious, and welcome to the Masterclass series designed to help you plan before you experience issues in traffic, economy, and overall city management. We will be playing on the coastal flat map from the Hotels and Retreats DLC. Right, while the game is on pause, we are going to start with our initial road. We're just gonna connect this together. Then I'm going to use the medium-sized road and create just a straight line. And we're just going to make it 10 units out. So these small squares are called units, and you can see a line appearing when I stretch it out. And when you see that line, that is the 10 unit marker. So this one will be 20. All right, that is looking good. And let's go ahead and connect these two together. You can use the one-way road, and then we're gonna use the upgrade tool and make that go the other direction. And from here, I'm gonna stop using the pavement roads, and we're just gonna go with the dirt roads, which is a lot cheaper. And we're gonna start our city off with a roundabout. So now let's have a distance for the roundabout. Let's make it around 440, which is around 12 or 22 units. So you can see the construction cost at 440, and we're gonna make it equal on the other sides. All right, then we can create our roundabout. Just simply, so you have the guidelines appear, stretch it out. All right, looking good so far. Now we can go ahead and create our road. So I'm gonna stretch this around 40 or even up to 50 units. So that's 1,000 construction costs. So we're gonna try to parallel this or mirror this on the other side. That was 1,000. There you go, 1,000. And we're gonna go back to here because you want to start closely of where you initially started. So I want to zone specifically on this side, but not directly on this. And if you want to remove the zoning, just use the toggle zoning area. So I'm going to click it I think 4 times, and that should remove the zoning. I'll just remove this one for now because I still need a guideline. And then from here, then you have to click it again just to make sure it comes back. Here I want a distance space of 3 units. So you can see from the edge of the circle there's 3 units, 1 2 3, and I'm going to be using that space for pathways and other things, and that will be the same here. Okay, then I could remove that zoning area again. All right, so this is our zone area. We could also remove this when we convert it to a highway. All right, so I'm going to start with our industry area. And let's stretch this out maybe up to here would be a good distance. So I'm gonna make it equal. Notice how I forgot to turn it off. So that is the unfortunate thing. So you just have to redo that. It has 0 cost to do this, so we don't need to worry. And I want to parallel this on the other side. This costs 500, so this will be 500 as well. Okay. And we can go ahead and build downwards, and I'm gonna have 1 unit spacing in between. This one will be slightly larger. Okay, so that is good. Now we need our spacer here. So this one will be upgraded into a main road like this in the middle here. So I need this to be equal, and so the distance is 200. So from here we go 200 is around there. So that means I can just simply, we can check again. There you go, it's 200. Let's make that exactly the same. So distance here is 440. So I want to make this exactly the same here. So that is 440. Okay, I am a very happy camper. Then let's go ahead and stretch this all the way to the other side. Oh, you know what? I want to make this go all the way in, and this as well. Let's do on this side. Distance of this is 440. Don't worry about this. I have a plan like midway through the build, and I think we have more than enough to go with. We have 45k left in the bank. Let me stretch this out just a few more. All right, that's more than enough. Let's go ahead and use the coal power plant. So the advanced coal power plant is available, but the upkeep cost is at 960. So we're gonna go old school with the coal power plant. We're gonna put that here where there's a large space, and we also need our sewage, and I'm just gonna use the inland water treatment plant, not the eco. The eco's upkeep cost is at 48 and its drain capacity is only 60,000, while this has only an upkeep of 320 with 120,000. So we want to use this. Okay, and let's go ahead and add in our pipes. And lastly, we will need water tower. So I'm going to put a water tower on this end. Make sure there's a pipe on it. And we now just need electricity, and we have 11,000 in the bank, which is great. So we have space or funds to make more roads. Let's go ahead and zone our first area. So I'm going to zone this. Then let's make sure that there is electricity. All right, now before we start the simulation, go into the economy tab. Make sure everything is dropped down to 50%. Don't bother with the bottom because that is the night cycle, and we are not playing with day-night cycle. So all right, let's go ahead and play the simulation. I'm going at ×3 game speed, and immediately these guys start to fill in. So let's go ahead and zone these areas. So the plan is, this is our main road, and then on the outskirts will be the commercial area. So I'm just gonna pre-zone ever so slightly, just 4 units. And yeah, we still have a lot of demand, so I'm just gonna go ahead and zone this. Okay, now we have some industry demand, so I'm gonna go ahead and just zone this area, and we will just wait until and we will just continue to zone as needed. So I'm going to continue zoning here, and sooner or later we are going to reach our very first milestone. And we are now Little Hamlet, which opens up the landfill site or garbage facilities, and we also have schools and the hospital. Right now the priority is garbage, so I'm going to plop that down immediately, because if you continue zoning, you may, or creating roads, you may forget that it's there. So I'm gonna turn this off so you can see that it is your first priority, because that is the very first issue that your city is going to have. So I'm just gonna turn it off so you can see at some point we're gonna have garbage issues. So that also gave us more income to build. So let's go ahead and continue to extend our road. I'm going to extend it just a little further this direction. So this I am going to create as another main road. So I'm gonna just put it here. I don't want to spend too much, so I'm just gonna use that as our guide. So the distance is 160. All right, that's good to know. 160. Okay, so that is our guide right there. I can go ahead and extend it to this direction. And we have a whole lot of residential demand. So let me just go ahead and zone this. And I want to zone to the other side. So you notice that it curves over here, or at least the terrain. So I want this, so this is going to be our main road, and I'm gonna make it curve that way. At some point we're gonna have some electrical or water issues. When that happens, just go ahead and slowly increase the budget, and of course check if there's like any missing pipes. So let's go ahead and add this. Water availability is also low, so again, just increase it. But what you don't want to do is spike it beyond 100%. Otherwise, you're going to start losing money. And also, on our first milestone, go ahead and increase your taxes up to 12%. 12% is the maximum until they decide to, if it goes any further, they will abandon. Okay, so we have our first issue, which is garbage, and we already have the landfill site. So I'm gonna go ahead and unlock that. We have new buildings, so I'm using these trucks. There you go, looks pretty darn cool. Okay, we got somebody on a bike. They're walking. Oh, look at this power lines. Very, very cool. All right. So they're gonna go ahead and take care of that. You don't have to turn it off. I was just setting an example that will be your first issue in your city. Okay, so let me go ahead and zone this side, or at least set up the road that's gonna go in this direction. So let's go ahead and make it here. And I suppose this will have to, or I guess I can keep it as is. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. Because there needs to be a distance here. So it's 160, right? So 160. Okay. And let's see. So we're gonna have like some large areas here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just connect them where I can. And we are now a worthy village. I didn't even zone residential. All right, so we have unlocked another tile, and we have new emergency services as well. So we have fire and the police department, which you should immediately drop down, because again, you don't want to overspend and then find yourself lacking these services. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down. We'll put it over here. We'll put the police department there. And then I'm gonna put the fire department on the other side. And we also have districts available. With that, I'm going to zone the top area. So this is considered the top. So I'm just gonna keep this as is. And then on the bottom half here, so this is going to be another district. And then here, I'm going to create one more district, and we're gonna have another one here. Okay, so we have 3 districts, which is on the top. First, let's take care of the electricity. So again, we spike up the budget. I'm gonna go ahead and spike up the water as well. And so these are the generic industries, and what I'm going to do is, for this, I'm going to change this to industrial evolution. While this will remain the same, this will remain the same, while this one will be European suburbia. So I'm gonna create a scene. So this will eventually, we're gonna move our industrial area, but this is basically how you start your city. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and like zone this area. Zone commercial on this side as intended. So this will be a power spike, or actually we already have power lines there, so that is all right. And let's go ahead and zone it basically the same way from the other side. Okay, we have pacified our residential need. Now we need some industry, because we have so many people and they need jobs. So let's do that, and let's check this one. So you're gonna notice there's gonna be 2 different types of zone. So it's gonna be generic, and then we're gonna have the industrial evolution. All right, we are now a tiny town, which unlocks park areas, industry areas, and pedestrian areas as well. But we are just going to ignore this for now, and our goal from the beginning is to simply grow the city. So we're just gonna meet demands and continue growing. And from time to time, we're gonna have power issues as mentioned. So just go ahead and spike it up to 100% eventually. And when it's at 100%, you need to save up for a power plant. So we have more than enough. This costs 19,000. So I'm just gonna keep it there for now. And now we are creating like a scene here. So our industrial evolution is on this side. We have our regular residential here. So this one you can't really see right now, but this will be a main road. So let's go ahead and continue zoning in this direction. Okay, so this is a main road and this is another main road, and I need it to go in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and use a tile. Okay, then we can go ahead and build. So again, this is our main road and I want to curve that. Oh, seems like we have somebody with no water. Let's go ahead and fix that immediately. And we have a whole lot of residential demand. So let me pacify that first. So I'm going to zone downward. So this space is reserved for our cemetery. I'm gonna go ahead and try to connect all of this together with zoning. So, and we are now a boom town. We have airports available, transportation, and another tile. The only thing that we're gonna be using is the extra tile, and at some point we're gonna add in transportation. But for now, your city should not be experiencing any traffic whatsoever. So since this should be a curve, so I'm going to go ahead and curve this. So I need a point, so let's use this. Okay, that looks great. Here we have some large gaps for things, which is completely fine. We can put in schools, we can put in a park, so we don't need to worry about that. And again, here's another curve, so we need to do something similar to this. So I need to create our road going to the opposite direction. Yes, we have cemeteries available. So let's go ahead and add in that cemetery. As you can see, we already have some people with death issues. Hold on, we have a power, we are lacking power. So let's go ahead and add in another coal power plant. So we kind of missed it. We were playing on ×3 game speed, so we lost one household. That's completely fine, but let's not lose more. Yeah, so sometimes it's not really good to play on ×3 game speed. It was a risk that I was taking, but we don't have too much of a loss, so every now and then you should like take a peek at your city. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in our cemetery here. Okay, and then this one, this zone area, I am also going to convert or make this into local and organic produce. Then we're gonna squeeze in some commercial here. So we seem to be lacking water. Let's go ahead and add in another. All right, so let's check out the scene that we're creating. So you notice the European suburbia here, it's all low levels, while this one appears to be mid-rise or very like low density mid-rise. So we're creating a scene here, and it's also the same on this end. So this one is a little taller while this one is smaller. So it's a nice thing to do in the beginning of your city. And then at this end, I plan to make this high density. So it's going to start from low going to high. And here I use the local and organic produce so that they don't, because some of them are large buildings on the generic commercial. That's why I opted for this instead. All right, so let's go ahead and continue zoning as needed. So this will be another zone area. So the other thing that you need to consider is where your main roads or which direction they're going. So this will go straight, which is unfortunate, but it seems to be the right call. So that's just gonna go straight here. And then this one, this I plan to make this elevated, so I'm going to make this go in this direction and then go across, and then we're gonna go here. So that is the plan. So other things to consider when developing your city is like the built-in assets from the map. For instance, this has residential ruins over here. So let's create a story. So since we have low density here, I am going to create like a say a garbage facility area here. So that's the reason why they opted to abandon. So I'm gonna leave space for garbage, and of course you don't want to zone residential too close to it. Since we're at this end, I'm going to go ahead and unlock this tile. Okay, so now we are forced to use both tiles. So when you unlock a tile, make sure you adjust your zoning area. So in this case, I need to expand this. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our industry because people needs jobs. We have way too many people that moved in, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and provide the people with jobs. So this thing, we have some elevation issues. I did not check the terrain, so let's go ahead and smooth this out. So we have the landscaping available. For anyone curious about my other ongoing series, there are so many new content creator packs and DLCs in the past months that the meta changed. So I decided to start a new series that incorporates all the vanilla content so we can determine the new meta before Cities Skylines 2 launches. Alright, so we need more residential area. I'm a little tempted to build here, but I'm trying to like maintain some space, but let's go ahead and add that nevertheless. So I'm gonna keep an eye on where this road is going to turn. So it's gonna turn right about here. Yep, around here. So, and this is the main road that will turn. Then it goes at a tiny angle, like so. So let's go ahead and create these areas. Okay, it's been a while, so every now and then you should like check your city. So we are at 3.5k population, and the next milestone 3,600, and then we are going to have high density at 5,000. So I want to reach up to 5,000, and then we're gonna start do some detailing. So for now, I'm just gonna continue zoning and filling in areas. Okay, seems like we have some, and we are now a busy town. We have city policies available. I do not use any policies, or I only use like maybe 2 or 3. Let's go ahead and first make sure that we have a coal power plant, but we could also use the geothermal power plant, which has an output of 80 megawatts compared to 40 megawatts. The cost is a little cheaper, so we're gonna go for the geothermal. Um, but I'm also going to create zone areas. So again, we have these ruins here, so we're gonna try not to build too close to it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and zone in this direction. I'm just gonna create a small stretch of road for the geothermal power plant. There we go, fits snugly. And we can go ahead and continue our ×3 game speed. Let's go ahead and add in this, which is the elder care building. So this has a lot of space. So I'm going to go ahead and plop it down here. And with that, we're also going to have the child care building. I'm going to put it at the other side. And since we have a large gap here, I could keep this as is, or we could like build, I suppose, a park or whatnot around it. But for now, that will be good. So these buildings will help extend the lifespan of our citizens. Okay, we just need more residential area. I'm going to go ahead and build towards this side, and this one will also need to curve or turn. So this is our main road. It needs to turn this way. So again, when you're about to go to an edge, you need to like visually see which direction you want to zone. So with that said, let's go ahead. I'm gonna make it ×1 speed, and from here I'm gonna make it curve. Oops, I made a mistake because this needs to curve. So I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna check our distance. So it's at 200. So this one's a little tricky to design. I have to remember my curve areas. Let's not forget to add in more cemeteries, because that's going to be needed in the future. A lot of people, or most people, make the mistake of not putting enough cemeteries. That's why they have huge death waves. So make sure to add several. Okay, so far so good. We have a lot of open space here in the back, and again, I want to zone this with high density. So this is why I'm kind of holding it off, but I think I have no choice but to zone just a little bit here. So this was meant to be commercial, but I think it's okay if we make this into residential instead. It doesn't really change my plans too much. Okay, so now that we have all that residential, let's go ahead and create another industrial area. Oh, it seems like we have a garbage issue. So let's go ahead and plop in a garbage facility, let's say here. We will most likely need two, because this needs to empty out somewhere. So we need to reach 5,000, which is not too far away, and then we could have the incineration plant so that all the garbage will be removed completely. Let's go ahead and change our garbage trucks. And we also seem to have water issues, so I'm gonna slow down our time and add in another water tower there. And we also need an inland water treatment plant, so we have space available here. Let's make it 2. Okay, so all right, before the abandon. Okay, now everyone's happy. All right, these guys are really forcing me to create more zone areas, so I have no choice but to do so. So I'm going to create another one here, which is closer to this, and I've been trying to avoid building close to it. Okay, we're about to reach 5,000 population. Let's go ahead and zoom out. What issues do we have? We just have one abandoned guy, and now we are now a big town with high density unlocked. All right. Okay, with the game on pause, we have 300,000 in the bank. So let's go ahead and start upgrading our roads. I'm gonna start with this. So I'm going to demolish this, and this main road is going to be elevated. And I am also gonna push back the highway. So our elevated road, I'm gonna use the European 4-lane stone bridge. So it's going to look super epic. And then the road to the side, I am going to use the 2-lane one-way road with tram tracks. Unfortunately, there's no 4-lane road and a one-way. This is the only one available. I have never done this before, so we're gonna see if it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade it. Then in the middle area, we are going to create a new zone type. I'm going to be using the pedestrian zoning. So we're going to zone this. And I need it to go all the way here. And we need to add in that facility. Here it is, the small pedestrian service area point. Just going to plop her over here. So now that activates all the roads. Pedestrian street. So, and then we're going to use the small bluestone pedestrian street with tram tracks, and that will be the one that will go in the middle. Okay, let's check out what we have so far. So it meets up here, and then it slowly elevates going to the top. We could probably make a better increment, or let's use mods to do that. Okay, there we go. And let's go ahead and continue going all the way to this side. Okay, looking good so far. Our little project here cost us 100 grand, which is it's very painful but necessary. Let's go ahead and upgrade this. So for now, I'm just gonna use the cheapest road. Okay, now let's go ahead and decorate the inner part, and we also need to create a new district type, or we're gonna create a park area. And for this one, it's okay to make it huge. Oh, I did not anticipate this one. So a park can't have pedestrian streets, which is unfortunate. I had a different plan, but now I think I have to change it. Okay, so we need like a unique building or something special. So when you come into the city, right? When you enter, there has to be something here that you can see, something big. I'm gonna go for this this building right here. The upkeep is only 480, and the visitor capacity is 550. So that's a lot of tourists. And when we look at the preview, it is huge, which is great. And then we'll just have other buildings beside it. So for now, we need to set that up. And the first thing that I always do before placing anything down is planning the transportation. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, the transportation that I'm gonna go for, that I have never done in such a long time, we're gonna go with metro. Okay, so I went with this metro station. I probably should have upgraded the road first. Let me see if it's still possible. Okay, there we go. And now we can place down our building, our centerpiece right here. Bam. So when we come in, that's the first thing that we see. All right, let's go ahead and decorate around it. Okay, we added some parking lots at the back, and now we can just simply add things here, or we could even connect it. I think we'll add other things here. I'm not sure what yet because we're spending a lot of money. So this has a lot of potential of having like really nice, unique buildings on the side, but we unfortunately cannot afford to place them down at the moment. So for now, this is what we will have. And let's go ahead and turn this one off because it's not connected to anything. But so far, this is what we have. And I'm gonna go ahead and decorate at least along the bridges, so you have an idea on what I am building. All right, let's look what we have so far. And so you have an idea on how it looks like. So as you're going underneath here by the bridge, this is the scene that you'll get. Looking pretty good. Going under the bridge. And then now, if we were on the bridge and we're going across, we can see the palm trees nicely spread out, right? And the plan is to do this all throughout. That is the plan. Okay, it seems like we have some issues. We got some garbage problems, so let's go ahead and add in the incinerator. Put that in, put a few in to make sure that it empties. I'll put them all here in one spot. Okay, so that should pacify everything. And right now, other than garbage, our issue is we have not enough buyers for products. But for now, this is episode 1, so I'm not going to deal with this at the moment. We did a lot already for episode 1, so this is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some high density as planned. So for instance, that's going to be on this side. We're going to be aware of the noise pollution. So if this was here, it's actually quite small, as you can see. So there's still a lot of room where we can put in high density. Now for this building, so the noise area, as you can see, it's also quite small. So we could even have high density residential here if I wanted to. But the plan was to put it here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that. So let's go ahead and start zoning in some high density. So I'm still going to be using dirt roads for the moment, since yeah, our income is quite low. So let's try not to use too much, and let's go ahead and activate this. So our main road here, I am going to remove the zoning. So here we could control which side we can remove zoning. So I'm gonna put it on just one side. So you can see that we have some abandoned buildings, but I'm not too worried about it because all of this is going to be replaced. So this is why I am just ignoring it completely. So as of now, our bank is quite low. We only have up to 3,000 weekly income. So what I'm gonna do is, and while our demands are pretty much balanced, I'm just gonna take the opportunity and continue to design our bridges. So I'm just gonna do that offline, and I'm gonna keep it at ×3 speed to help generate more income as well. Okay guys, we have excellent progress in just the first episode, and in the next video we will fill in the empty spaces and establish our transportation and economy. If you enjoyed the episode, learned something, and are looking forward for more, hit that like button and please consider subscribing. Until then, this is Captain Obvious. Thank you for watching and for choosing to fly with Obvious Airlines. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next flight.